Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have a pretty interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to our Dreamerspro Short Clips channel that we have pinned in the comment section below. So let's get into this show here. First of all, before we even get into Skip Bayless, let's talk about the biggest news this weekend. That Boston Celtics Miami Heat game in game 6. A Boston Celtics team that was down 0-3 found their way to now tie the series. And in that game, man, when Jimmy Butler got fouled at that three-point line and he hit those 3 straight clutch three-point free throws, I thought the game was over. But for the Boston Celtics to win that game in the fashion that they did, I was absolutely stunned. Literally speechless. I couldn't believe it. I was just as shell-shocked as everyone in that Miami Heat arena. So what a game. What a great game. It's been a long time since I've seen such a wild ending like that before. But anyway, get into this topic. So I was combing through the internet over the weekend, and a segment from Skip Bayless' show, the Skip Bayless Show, was recommended to me on YouTube. And I seldom, if not even, I rarely ever listen to any of Skip Bayless' shows because I find a lot of his content to be frankly boring. I don't know why Skip is reading off of a sheet and then basically spending the entire time looking down while you have the camera. If that's the case, just make it a podcast if you're just going to be reading. So I don't really find the show to be that entertaining, but I'm sure some people do, right? But anyway, in this particular segment here, Skip was discussing his relationship with Charles Barkley over the years, because as you all are aware, Charles Barkley has made it abundantly clear that he is not a fan of Skip Bayless whatsoever. And I think his biggest issue with Skip, according to the last time we heard him speak about Skip Bayless on All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, he essentially said that the reason he has an issue with Skip is that Skip Bayless picks and chooses the people he supports and the people he's not going to support. And he doesn't keep the same energy for everyone. Greatest example of that is you can think of LeBron James versus Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant loses. Skip Bayless tells you every single reason in the book why it's not KD's fault. LeBron James loses. Skip Bayless will tell you every reason in the book why it's all LeBron's fault, right? And this is something that aggravates Charles Barkley about Skip Bayless. And he's always kept his position about Skip. So during this show, I looked at the title of the show, and basically Skip Bayless was saying that he was ready to declare war on Charles Barkley, meaning if Charles Barkley ever made the mistake, again, to talk about Skip Bayless, Skip made it crystal clear that he's now going to be coming for Charles Barkley every time Charles Barkley talks about him. So what we want to do is we want to play some of the comments that Skip Bayless had to make here, and then we're going to come back and unpack what he had to say. So take a listen to what Skip had to say there.
So this was on Barstool's Spittin' Chicklets podcast the other day. Barkley was asked if he ever had a problem with any reporter when he was playing. And his answer was, and I quote, "I very seldom went after reporters. I go after Skip Bayless because I don't like him at all. And I just like, pardon my language, I just like f***ing with him because he's so sensitive and I just like f***ing with him because he's so sensitive and said Charles Barkley about me." Okay, so we have made some progress. This time, Charles did not say he wants to kill me. So maybe my message has been received. But now comes a new plot twist. He likes to F with me because I'm so sensitive? I waited 20 years to finally stand up and call him out for saying very publicly again and again and again that he'd like to kill me. I waited 20 years to do that, and now I'm so sensitive? I am still laughing about that one. Not with Charles, but at Charles. Again, I don't even know Charles. I've never spoken a single word in conversation or in communication with or to Charles Barkley. I did not cover Charles's teams when he played in the NBA. All I know for sure is that Charles does watch Undisputed religiously. He knows every word I speak on TV. And for that, I am greatly appreciative. My theory is that deep down, Charles resents me because I all too often see and say things that he wishes he had seen and said. So I assume Charles will keep taking his shots because now I will no longer turn the other cheek as I did for 20 years. I no longer will let him get away with slinging mud, whatever mud that he wants to sling. So I guess now that I'm sensitive and as Charles says, that he's going to take advantage of my sensitivity by slinging more and more mud just for fun. I mean, here's the truth. Charles's favorite punching bag has finally had enough. And when he punches, from this point on, as I just did, I will punch back.
So you heard what Skip Bayless had to say there. He said that he no longer will turn the other cheek. He no longer will let it go. Blase, 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 blah. Here are my thoughts. First of all, when has Skip ever turned the other cheek? When? Skip Bayless has a history of going at people if he feels disrespected in any way, in any type of shape or form. There was even a segment on ESPN First Take when he was on there featuring the former NFL coach. I think his Mancini was his last name. And I think the guy took a position against Tim Tebow where he was basically, I guess, saying, Skip, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And Skip Bayless went right at him right there. And that guy never said anything to the level, I think Eric Mancini. And that guy never said anything to the level that Charles Barkley has been saying about Skip Bayless over the years. So Skip is not this like, oh my God, I'm a saint, I'm this holy person that turns the other cheek. No, Skip Bayless feels that if someone is coming at him, he's going to talk about them, right? And I've seen him even get into some spats with Shannon Sharp on their show Undisputed, where he felt like if Shannon Sharp was coming at him, he would go directly at Shannon Sharp right in front of his face. As a matter of fact, that big blow up that they had early in the year around, I think it was in January, had to do with Shannon basically questioning Skip's football acumen when they were discussing football, and Skip Bayless went at him right there. So I didn't understand this position that Skip was like, well, I'll no longer turn the other cheek. I think the reason Skip has not responded to Charles could be because he doesn't have a real rebuttal to what Charles Barkley's saying. Charles is not saying Skip Bayless sucks at his job. He's saying that Skip Bayless is biased towards certain athletes and he makes excuses for certain athletes that he will not make for others. Simple and plain. I already gave you the Kevin Durant, LeBron James comparison. We can go down the line. You can talk about Tom Brady. He's a very, very big Tom Brady supporter. So he's not going to really go hard at Tom Brady. But if it's somebody that he doesn't like, I think maybe he's not a big fan of Aaron Rodgers, if my memory serves me well, he will go at him. And I think that's the reason, that Charles Barkley is saying that. But I guess we'll wait. We'll just have to wait and see, because I think Charles, before it's all said and done, will probably have to say one or two things about Skip Bayless. And I'm going to be very interested to see Skip Bayless go back at Charles Barkley. I'm here for all of that smoke. So what I want to know from you guys is simply this. What do you think about what Skip Bayless had to say in terms of how he's going to be handling or dealing with Charles Barkley moving forward? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section, and we catch you on the next show. Peace.